Okay, that's good. All right, so I'm going to start a new tab to do some calculations. Scale equals 5. Because I want to find out, what is the breakpoint between a B and an A. So we're talking about 7 over 8 times 60. So 52.5 points is the breakpoint of, an A. In other words, anyone getting 50 from this point and up, these are all A's. So we can count the number of A's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 people in the class are getting A's in this test. And B's, 5 over 8 times 60. So 37.5 points is the breakpoint for a B. So how many B's do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there are 6 B's, which is kind of interesting because if you think about the number of A's, we have 11 A's, but only 7 B's. And then we can look at the number of C's in the class from 22 points and up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 C's in the class. It is definitely not a normal distribution because you can see, the A's, there are 11 here. There are 7 here. There are about 10 here. And, that's not a normal distribution curve. It's kind of like a bimodal distribution curve. Okay. So that kind of gives you an idea of, what is the letter grade equivalence based on the score. And are there any questions about this? Any questions?
Everybody else needs to try harder.
Well, there are still enough points, to compensate for this test. So the idea is, understand, what the answers are supposed to be. That's the first thing, and then the second thing is to make sure in the second exam, people get better scores. Okay. Are there any questions? No questions. Okay.
Absolutely no warranty.
Absolutely no warranty. Yep. So in this case, we go back. I cannot go back yet. That's not back all the way. Yep, I can show now because this is just showing my score. Because since I didn't take the test, I got a 0 out of the whole thing. Okay, and here's the roll sheet for today. Just put your name or initial next to your name. I think this is probably not a bad time to do it. All right. So the second thing that is important, because it also relates to your score, is that we have a new homework now. The new homework is based on binary search. And let me just show you what the homework assignment looks like. The first thing about the homework assignment is you must use OpenOffice to work on this assignment because I'm trying to collect some statistics, like how much time people have to spend on the homework assignment, whether they get stuck on a particular concept or not. So when I grade the homework assignment, I can just kind of tell, okay, most people can work up to here really fast, but when it gets to this part, some people have to spend some more time. I just want to collect some statistics like that. So that's why you have to use OpenOffice to work on this particular homework assignment, so that the changes are all logged with a timestamp. If you use Excel to open up ODS files and save it, I think that information will be lost. So I cannot collect the statistics that way. And besides, OpenOffice is free, and there's no excuse why it cannot be installed. Okay, if you cannot install it because you do not have administrative rights, you can also use the portable version, which does not require administrative rights to install. And I know someone is going to think, yeah, but Microsoft said OpenOffice sucks. Well, I would be surprised if they don't. They released a report, of why users think OpenOffice sucks. Download this file, which is the usual thing to do, then work on sheet 2, 3, and 4, and then upload the file using the upload interface when it is all done. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look and say, is that really going to be hard? I mean, is this a hard homework assignment? It is kind of slow today. Okay, so we have the binary search algorithm. For the most part, it's stuff that we have talked about already. Okay, have we covered the entire binary search algorithm in this class? I think we have. Okay, so this should be no big surprise. Some people may lose track of minor details here and there, but for the most part, this is what we have talked about. We have the variables b and e being bookmarks. B is the index of the first element in the array that may contain the value that I'm looking for, which is stored in variable k. E is the index of the last element in the array that may still have the value that I'm looking for. M is the index of the element that I'm looking at, the element that I'm comparing to. And the way I calculate M is to use the floor function on B plus E divided by 2, which is the average of B and E. Any questions at this point? No questions? Line 5 is comparing A bracket M, which is an element in the array, with K. And since the array is sorted in a non-decreasing way, yep, go ahead.
We don't, if E equals A minus 1, what is the value of A? How many array elements are there?
We'll go to sheet 2, 3, and 4, then we'll see. Okay. If A bracket M is less than K, it also implies that A bracket M minus 1 is less than K, and so on. And that's because the array is sorted. So in that case, I can move my bookmark B forward so that it is now M plus 1. Else, if K is less than A bracket M, then we can also imply that K is also less than A bracket M plus 1, M plus 2, and so on. And therefore, we can change the ending bookmark to M minus 1. That's all we're going to do in the loop. The loop will exit when A bracket M equals K, because in that case it means we have found the element, or we have found the value that we are looking for. Or if E is less than B, it implies that we do not have any elements left in the array that may contain the value K, so it is also time to exit the loop. The last portion here is assigning a true-false value to a variable f for found. In this case, I want to see whether A bracket M does equal to K or not, because if A bracket M equals K, it means the element or the value was found. If it is not, it means the value was not found in the array. So only the last part is slightly different from what we talked about in the class, but it is one single assignment statement. So I'm hoping that should not be a problem. Are there any questions about the pseudocode itself? No? No questions?
Now, so on line 11, if that returns as true,
then the variable f will get true.
okay.
If it returns false, then the variable f will become false. Okay. So now we take a look at the first test case. The first test case looks like this. We only have 4 elements in the array, so it's not going to take too long to look through all the elements. It will take up to 3 iterations. If an element does not exist in the array, it may take up to 3 iterations to confirm that it is not in the array. But it's not really that many iterations. So that's it. I set up, the precondition. The only thing that has to be predefined would be K and all the elements in the array. Are there any questions about this? That's your first test case. Sheet 3 is your second test case. The only thing that's different is the way I initialize K. The first time I'm looking for 3. The second time I'm looking for 9. And then the last time I'm looking for 4. Are there any questions about this homework assignment? Yep.
When is it due?
It's due in a week. So you have 1 full week to work on this homework assignment. I think most people can get it done, if they really sit down and try to do it. and already understand the concept of array indexing and whatnot just to follow the code, I think most people can get it done within half an hour at the most. Let me answer his question first. Go ahead.
Did you record the last time Tuesday? Because like when I get an email or anything, that's like, you know, I usually send it and says it is here. And then,
Last Tuesday.
this Tuesday, I mean, this past following, or past Tuesday.
I think I did record it. I might have just forgotten to send a notification. Go ahead.
Okay, so when we're doing this, we just say line 1, after pretty line 1, line 2, and do that
Yeah.
in normal trace.
Yep, just the usual way we do traces.
And
Yep.
comments, out, conditional changes, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Have we done one trace in the class for the binary search algorithm?
No.
Yeah? Okay. Well, that makes this assignment pretty easy. You cannot just copy and paste, obviously, but you can at least follow the logic in the trace that I did in the class. Okay. Any other questions about the binary search algorithm?
Could you go back to the sheet 1 or sheet 3? I think it's sheet 3. It's one of the ones that had the actual put on it.
Sheet 1.
Sheet 1.
Yeah.
One.
It's usually always on sheet 1. That's the pseudocode.
For the part that says floor, does that mean what's that?
You got to read the book. That means you have to read the book. It's already defined in the book, so you got to read it.
Well,
Yeah.
I was,
What book?
they said, does it mean round down or what?
It means you're taking the largest integer that is less than or equal to whatever is inside the parentheses. Yep. Got to read it. Got to read the text. Okay. Any other questions about this? Are we all done with the binary search algorithm? Okay. Did anyone check out what is NP complete after the class on Tuesday? Obviously optional. I mean, it's not going to be something in the test. Nobody checked it out? Okay. That's okay. It's not going to be, that part is not going to be in any test, so you will be fine.
NP complete.
NP complete, non-deterministic polynomial time.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay. So do we have any additional questions about binary search or searching in a sorted array? That's the other question. Going once, going twice, no questions, we all good? Okay. Now because that's really kind of important, this is a big application of arrays. When we move on to the next section, section 9 or topic 9, we will start to talk about subroutines, parameters, local variables, and that sort of thing. That's also, it adds another dimension to programming. Okay? Do you guys still remember top-down design? Where sometimes, we will use one line to state what needs to be done, but not necessarily how it is done. So in terms of programming, one language, computer programming language construct that can help us accomplish that is called a subroutine. Okay? So we'll go ahead and get started with subroutine, and we'll start with the control flow of a subroutine first. This is going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit harder to understand than arrays, because this one has to do with control flow. It's not just how data is represented, but it has to do with control flow, or how do we get to a particular part of the program and be able to go back to where we came from to begin with. Okay, that's the trick. How do we go back to where we came from? So we'll go ahead and get started with the why.
I said it depends on the language you're using. There's a bunch of ways to do it.
All right. So the first thing that we want to answer is why are we doing this? Well, do you guys want to spend some more time